We're frozen. Wow. Yeah. We are frozen. Let's see.
Use framing to tell a story.
We'll pick now, internet, huh? It's gonna be shoddy. Hey. All right, we're live again. We have some technical difficulties. So I'm gonna load up my content here and get right to it, man. If you are on, thank you for jumping on. Framing and composition is what we'll be covering today. I'm gonna go back and run my intro, man, because you ain't get to see it, did you? Remove, edit, no, we wanna. What in the world? Okay. So yeah, hey y'all, what's up, man? This is D Fitch. At the last hour, we internet started acting funny.
Tip number 4.
Go ahead and
use framing to tell a story.
I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video I created for this tip. So this is framing and composition, and all of these tips are tips coming straight from my ebook. All right. So what you'll see here is basically these tips. So I got 21, at least minimum 21 tips in my ebook. And this is tip number 4. aka session number 4. Let's check it out.
Tip number 4. Use framing to tell a story. Want your video to feel cinematic? Your angle.
Oh man, my internet is acting crazy. Hey, whoever's tapping in, I appreciate you. Internet Wi-Fi is not agreeing with me right now. Come on, bro. Come on. Man. We in range and all of that. All right, let's get him off and let's just see if I can get into it. Wonder, can you hear me? All right, let's go into instructor mode. Oh boy. Well, welcome back to How to Shoot Pro Video with your smartphone, the webinar series. I'm Daniel Fitch, founder of Natural Leaders Media, and this session is session 4, framing and composition. If this is your first time joining us, then welcome. And if you've been here before, been here for every session, thank you. Let's keep on building. Today we're going deep on one of the most powerful fundamentals in video production. And I promise you, by the time we're done, you're going to look at your phone camera differently. Not because you bought new gear, because you now know where to point it, how to use what's already in your frame. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, which is Natural Leaders Media TV, or Natural Leaders TV. Go ahead and do that. I got a surprise at the end. I'm gifting out my ebook. So the ebook, all this content that I'm sharing with you, all this 20 plus years of experience that I have in production, creating content, creating media, and telling stories, I got it packed into this ebook. I'm actually about to start a new version of that ebook. So this one is going to be the vintage one, the first one, you know what I'm saying? Version A, if you will. But yeah, follow my newly created Facebook group, which is How to Shoot Pro Video with your smartphone, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Shoot me an email. Let me know. Give me a confirmation in the comments, and I'll email it over to you. No problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. So go ahead and do that. You have some time. The full ebook you can grab on Amazon right now. You know what I'm saying? Just plug in How to Shoot Pro Video with your smartphone, and you can grab the full ebook. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all chiming in. This is session number 4, and I'm proud of myself, man, for keeping going. 4 sessions in a row. Today the internet started off a little choppy, so it kind of got me off to a hiccupy start. But I'm here, man. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Let's see. All right. All you gotta do is subscribe. At the end of the joint, I'll send it over the ebook. You know. All right. I got one person typed in, man. Where are you at? Who is this? Let me know who you are and where you at. Appreciate that, Chris. Technical difficulties got me, tapped in. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe, man. And I'll send you my ebook, man. Maybe you might learn something from it, but you have high levels of expertise as well, my friend. Digital Rem. Big shout out to Chris, Digital Rem. Very talented content creator in himself. And we always exchange trade secrets and talk about the highs and lows of entrepreneurship and what this game is about, man. So big ups, Digital Rem, and thank you for tuning in. So let me regroup. How to shoot professional video with your smartphone, session number 4. Yaka. But yeah, man, this is what I love to do. I love to teach. This is something that I feel like it is a give back thing. There's been some lows in video production, and as far as business is concerned, so I gotta stay busy, y'all. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna I gotta stay busy. It's just that simple. So here we are. You know what I mean? And here we are. The two people I got live chimed in. Go ahead and tap in the chat. Who are you, and where are you tapping in from, and what type of business are you running? Let me know. You know, we got anybody? ATL, my guy. I'm in Decatur right now, where it's greater, as they say. Uh, all right. Well, we're gonna jump in, man. We're gonna jump in and get to framing and composition, man. It's a subject that I would say kind of gets overlooked, but it's everybody does it. You may not do it by default, but you do it. You know what I mean? Um, Meaning like you frame stuff just every time you take a picture, every time you shoot a video, consciously you frame stuff. Like usually people put people dead middle, right, of the frame, which makes which is boring, to be quite frank. You want to put people off into the core of those frames. Let me see. Where's my tip? All right. So yeah. So tip one, going into today, this is what we're going to cover today. All right, guys. 1, rule of thirds. 2, your headroom and your lead room. Foreground, background, your different shot types, camera angles, and avoiding distractions. All right. So again, what we're going to cover today is rule of thirds, headroom and lead room, foreground and background, shot types, camera angles, and avoiding distractions. All right. So, tip number 1, rule of thirds. This is basic type of stuff for some. For others, not so much. So let me get it better so you can see it. All right, that's pretty much better. Right. So place your subject on one of the 4 intersection points. All right. Usually, argument wise, you're going to be in this left third, which is that top to the left from my vantage point where I'm sitting to my left. So I would be kind of like right now, like right about here, right? Something like that. Okay. Um, yeah. So that's your left third. So you got your left third, middle third, right third. If you haven't already, go ahead into your phone and enable the grids. Enable your grid lines. You know what I'm saying? Put your grid line, turn your grid lines on. Your grid lines will give you the composition you want where you can shoot, everything professionally. And it also will just make all your shots look professional, like you know what you're doing. That top line is your eye line. So your subject's eyes should go across that top line. And let me back up. If you are Android, your grid lines, you go to your camera, boom. There's like a little gear icon. I already got my grid lines turned on. But there's a little gear icon. Tap that, and you should be able to scroll and get to this. Here's a gear icon. If you can see it in that top left, don't mind my screen. And then you see my grid lines is on, baby. But tap that and then just scroll down and it should say grid lines and you just check them on. You know what I mean? If you're an iPhone, you go to video and look for composition or framing. Either composition or grid, and turn those things on. All right? That's going to help you for sure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, once you have those on, just give me a little thumbs up there in the chat and I'll keep moving on. Right? And again, on your grid line, your eyes should be on your subject who you're shooting, their eye line should be right on that. So right where you see these little center points where it has the dot on the slide, that's where your subject's head should be. If you're shooting middle, this is the only time I say it's okay to shoot middle third if you're purposely gonna use this content in two ways. Meaning, if you shoot it wide like this and you shoot your subject in middle frame, you can crop it to make that same content vertical, right? So as we covered in one of our last classes, you have portrait mode or vertical and wide. Vertical, wide, right? So if you're shooting wide, meaning you want to put this content, a long version of this content on YouTube, and then you want to clip up that same wide content and post it as verticals, then yes, go ahead and shoot in the middle third. That way, you can just crop it or repurpose it and make it vertical and wide. If you're shooting just just vertical, then yeah, you want to put your subject kind of about right here where I'm sitting, where my head is at. You know, yeah, yeah. Dead center framing feels static. Static means no movement, right? So a static shot, like if you got a tripod or something like that, that is called a static shot versus moving. So it's like I'm moving right now. I'm in a high chair swivel, so I'm non-static. So if I'm sitting here like talking head, and yes, all the political things in the world are going to be like this and da, da, da. That's static. That's just static shot. You know what I'm saying? I like movement. Even if I'm in a static shot and I'm on sticks, I like to use a slider. So I'm coming from back here, and camera is coming in and coming out. You know what I'm saying? That movement, it makes things cinematic. All right. Let's keep going. Headroom and lead room. Headroom, leave at least one finger. So think of your pointer about this much space, man. On top of your head. I got good spacing right now on this. This is not a this is no. My head is chopped off. Definitely no. No. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So you wanna, you know, headroom examples. No, no, yes. So, right? Let's use this pen. So I got about this much headroom, which is sufficient. My pointer finger is about this long. So you say about from here. Yeah. So where I'm sitting, and I'm sitting in middle frame right now. This is the amount of headroom you want to throw on there. You know what I'm saying? This is the yeah. Leave one finger a width of space above your subject's head. That way, in post production, you give your editor some room to breathe. Okay, you give your editor some room to breathe. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Let's put him back on here and lead room. If your subject is looking or moving left and right, give them space in that direction. Point point towards this stuff is so small. Point towards the frame's open side. So lead room. If you look at the diagram right here for lead room, um, they're meaning in front. This is my lead room, and this is my sides, right? So again, let me go ahead and go back to full frame. So this is your lead room. These are the sides here, and then even your front. But this front is more your foreground than lead room. Lead room is here, so I could do this. I got my portrait land up, so my portrait is tighter. Portrait, I got my shoulders in there. You know what I'm saying? Got deep shoulders. Lead room here. So if I swivel this way, I can swivel this way. I got some room. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go now. I got my hand out the frame. You don't know what's going on. So keep when you're framing. So if you're shooting to a third, so this is now I'm in my left third right here. I have this space here. So now you can see the display I got here, right? How to shoot pro video with your smartphone. I'm purposely sitting in center frame because I know what I'm gonna do with this content after and where I want to stay pretty much centered with it. All right. So that's your lead room, headroom. All right. Lead room. Boom. What we got next? What we got next? What we got next, Shen? 3 essential shot types. So with these shot types, you got um, wide shot, medium shot, close up. For the most part, everybody's shooting a medium shot. Right now, I am in a medium shot. This is a medium shot, which is going to be more so my waistline and up. You know what I mean? Medium shot. Wide shot, be something like me way back here. So I got my green wall. So my hand is on the wall. I would need to be way kind of back here, right? This is more of a wide. Hey, how we doing and everything? I'm leaning on the wall. This is would be a wide shot. Then you got your close up. We getting down and dirty, baby. This is a good close up, even as close as here. You know what I'm saying? This is your close up. You want to use your close up trying to show emotion. You know what I'm saying? I can't. What is going on? I can't believe it, yo. Oh my god, this is crazy. What? What happened? Yeah, when you're showing emotion and things of that nature, go close up. That way you can you get into the emotion of the character or the subject. You know, they start crying, or if you're interviewing them and you ask them some deep questions, pull that focus in, man, reel that guy in. Whoop, get into that close up. So when did you find out that everything was going north? Well, yeah, man, it was, oh my God, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Get into that emotion, pull it in, and yeah, that's your close up. Let me go back to the slide, the slizide. So yeah, medium shot is your standard shot. This is a shot where you connect with the subject, waist up framing, like I said, and it's the most natural. Conversational shots, you know what I mean? Feels like a real conversation. You know what I mean? Uh, the wide shot, you know, it really shows. It's more of establishing. It shows. It shows where you are. It shows, you know what I'm saying, your back. You know what? It gives more of establishing shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and give you a view of everything and what's going on, so you know exactly where you are. You know what I mean? Because you can trick a lot of shots with a camera. You could be in Cancun, but it look like you up the block in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So like that shot, if you on a beach or something like that, where you want to show and let your audience know where you are, go with the wide because it has a lot of elements in it as far as the shot, the man, the composition of your shot. Let's see. Let's go with that. Camera angles. So we got eye level. Nope, I didn't want to do that. We got eye level. Why are you going over there? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so you got eye level, low angle, high angle, and what in the world? And Dutch angle, right? So let me give you some definitions on these guys. Any questions at this point? Kind of flying through this. Got a couple people on there, man. Big ups to my man Chris, Digital REM, and whoever else that other person is. I appreciate you tuning in with me. Medium shot, wide shot, in a close up, closer to you. Cover eye level, low angle, high angle, and Dutch angle. So one thing a lot of people do when they're into these, when you're online and you're shooting, a lot of people use their laptop with or without a webcam. I'm using a simple webcam, a 1080p webcam for this. I love it. It's a wide shot. I'm pretty close up. Like this is how close I am. So this is it's a wide angle lens that's on there. But if you use your laptop, 9 times out of 10, your lap it's like kind of like on your lap and you're sitting like it'll be here. Like you'll be it kind of like it's pointing up. You know what I mean? So the angle you choose is a creative decision. You know, make that angle make that choice on purpose. When your laptop camera on the desk is looking up at you, you look powerful, but also like you're about to interrogate someone. You know what I mean? Eye level is almost always the right trust building content. And that's key for this content that we're watching, y'all. Like everything, you know what I mean? Everything is being judged. Let's keep it real, right? People are gonna judge this, judge this what's the name? This content after. Like I got a few people checking in and out here, but for the most part, when I chop it up and get it out, I don't get judgment, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I want to. I'm here to deliver some information. Hopefully, you can use it and create more content. You know, professionally. You know what I'm saying? With the expertise that you have from some of the tips. But anyway, stack some books on your laptop. Usually put it on a hard surface, stack some books so it's up a little bit, and try to get that thing to eye level and try to get it static and stable. You know what I mean? That way, I've seen people be on Zooms, man, and the thing is, Shorty sitting on a couch, got in a lap and is shaking, he going from on camera to off camera. Other people within that Zoom room or Google Meets, whatever you use, Teams, they looking at you. That's why anytime I click on my camera, I make sure I'm set up. My lighting is good. I got my lights up here, you know what I'm saying? And my sound is good. Uh yeah. Try to present yourself in the best way possible. You know, it stacking those books and keeping your camera eye level with you will immediately change how professional you look on video calls and recordings for sure. Yeah, I mean, let's see what else I got. Hold on, I want to explain some of these. Yeah. Foreground, background. This is important. This is definitely important. Especially as far as composition and aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? There are three planes: foreground, subject, and background, right? So you got foreground, subject, background. Those things. Right now, if I come here, I raise my eyes up, you can see my lights. Um, you know what I'm saying? In my shades. That's a production node. If I wasn't doing this by myself, I would fix that. However, maybe you can see some of the reflection of my lights on my forehead, or that could just be my melanin in the skin. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take it as that. Um, yeah, but these are all production things. As a producer, I see. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather this level of reflection on my forehead than, and I can always kind of tilt down to get those lights off of me. So right there, right? Yeah, but these are all things that you teach your subject. And at Natural Leaders Media, we do that. You know what I mean? And so if somebody wants to be cool and wear their shades on set, fine. We just got to raise up them lights. So I have my lights the way up I'm in a 3-point stance with my lights, 3-point lighting. And my fill light, backlight, fill back, and oh my goodness, there's a third one. But anyway, that's 3-point lighting. Actually, that's session 5, I think, and we'll get into that. But anyway, so this foreground, right? In my foreground, it's not too much. I got this guy over here, which is my notebook. You know what I'm saying? I got my slate, which is out of the picture. If I could bring them back in, but I have it over here, which is off camera, right? But that's everything. That's your foreground, and that's everything you want to be conscious of, right? Um, Let me change up this banner, man. Let's see. Go ahead and grab that ebook, man. Ebook. It's on Amazon right now, man. Light work, man. $7, man. Go ahead and grab him. You'll learn something, I guarantee you. But foreground. So basically, that's the distance between your subject and your camera. Like I said, I'm pretty tight with my camera right now. I'm on a wide, so I am touching the camera right now. So that's like arm's length. All right. My background, arm's length and a little bit. So what's that about? Oh no, let's get a ruler and find out. So see what my wingspan is, huh? What's that? 28. So 28, 12, and 12, almost 2.5 feet. So I got 2.5 feet behind me. The rule of thumb is 3 to 6. And I got my outstretched arm about 30 in front of me. Being I'm using a green screen, you can't really tell the depth that's behind me. So that's fine. But this, what you see in front, is about 2.5 feet. Rule of thumb, especially for background, is 3 to 6 feet. Um, and the reason for that is depth. You don't want a shallow depth of field. You know what I mean? Depth of field is like that bokeh look. The bokeh look is that blur. Most of these cameras these days have it. So if you ever took a picture and your camera, you tap your screen, most of your focus button is a tap on the screen. So I'm tapping my screen, and then what's behind subject gives that blur effect, and that's called a bokeh effect, or depth of field. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you see a lot of these interviews, especially interviews I like to do. It has a maybe like in a hallway or something that's deep. You know what I mean? That way you get that depth of field. And I like movement. So even if I'm in a hallway and that's deep and people are passing by back there, I don't care because it shows some movement, it shows liveliness. And also those people and subjects are blurred out. So you can't see their likeness. You just see, figures and stuff passing through. But your subject is totally crisp and their face is in focus and everything else, but everything in the background though has that bokeh look. All right. So use foreground elements. Let me come up on these shades so I can read this, man. Use foreground elements. A plant, like I said, a plant, railing, or table edge in the foreground instantly adds cinematic depth to a smartphone shot. Subject, separate subject from background. Yep, like I said, step your subject 3 to 6 feet from the wall, unless you got a green screen like the kid. Um, this creates a natural background blur, and visual separation. See, I'm on point, man. This is from the top. This is what my slides are saying, man. Uh, Watch what's behind them. Poles, signs, or clutter growing out of subject's head. Sometimes you got like stuff, you know what I'm saying? But that's especially if you're doing this by yourself, which I'm assuming a lot of you are. Um, Whatever's in that background that's not pleasing to the eye, get it out of there. All right? Just get it out of there. Background tells a story too. A bookcase, cityscape, or branded environment communicates without saying a word. Exactly. So you wanna have something there that's aesthetically pleasing behind you. All right, clean frames win every time. We working through this, y'all. We working through this. Big ups to my internet, man. It held me down. At first, it was end parallel movement. That's right, Chris. Man, my guy, man. You staying on, man. You got a favor out of me, man. Appreciate the support, my brother. Um, do this. Clean frames win every time. Solid color or blurred background behind the subject. Yep. And your subject. Make sure they're wearing some. You don't want your subjects in plaid, pinstripes, polka dots, stuff like that. Try to get them to wear something, that's clean. You want to stay away from branded stuff, you know what I mean, as much as possible. Hopefully they're wearing a brand or something that they're promoting or something like that, and then it's all good. But a lot of times you don't want to give that product placement to brands that already are winning, like Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Like, get it out the frame, or even put something around that drink. Like, if you've got a water, Dasani water, take that sleeve off of it and just let it be water. Subject has 360 degrees of clear space around the head. So again, that's this 360. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, my head is good. Again, I'm using the green screen, so that doesn't really necessarily apply. Uh Phone camera is stable, no accidental movement. So that's a static. So get you a tripod, get you a cell phone mount, and be done with it. And then what's this last one right here? Oh, where did I go? The don'ts, objects or posts growing from the head. If you got, you know what I'm saying? You just got a random ruler in your frame, get it out of there. You know what I'm saying? Uh TV, window, or bright light directly behind the subject. Yeah, these are basic things. Like, when you set up your set, you want to make sure that your background is sufficient and it's nice and clean, it's aesthetically pleasing, and there's nothing demonstrative in there that's gonna distract your audience while they're watching. Tilted horizon even slightly kills professionalism. Yeah, that's an aesthetic question. So yeah, again, let me know something, Chris, you may have learned, man. Tap in with me, brother. Uh Here in this shoot. Um, cause yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. This is framing and composition. No matter who shows up or doesn't show up, um, I love doing this. I really do. It's really something that uh keeps me engaged. It also it's continued education for me, reinforcing some of these things that I've learned. Big up to Georgia State University, where I went, film and video, African American Studies, film and video is where I crafted. Like I said, I got 20 plus years in this, man. I know I look 30 something, but uh, yeah, I've been around a lot of different sets, from feature length films and short films to documentaries, mini documentaries, commercials, high level to low level entrepreneurs. Yeah, man. So I've seen it. I've seen it around red cameras, black magic cameras, Sony cameras, Canon cameras, Nikon cameras. Uh, yeah, they all work the same in some form or fashion. They all have grid lines. They all have focus buttons. They all have aperture. They all have the everything, right? And I think it's more how you frame and light and audio. Those three key components are really key. But I'm gonna tell you this: it doesn't. You can shoot bad quality with a red camera or RE camera as much as you can shoot great quality with the Android phone or iPhone or what have you. Make sure, my number one thing always, to maximize your lens is clean them up. Get you a microfiber, clean him up, and then yeah, turn your grid lines on. If you don't have a tripod and you're holding it steady, make sure your headroom stays consistent. the one finger rule, and try to be as steady as possible. Keep your subject's eye line on that grid line. I like movement and stuff like that. So if you can't keep it static on a tripod, yeah, and hold your arm. So if you're holding it, I like this move right here because this kind of supports your hand, your arm. Because when you do like this, it puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder. So come here. So basically, this is your support right here. Boom. And then you could move around like so. When you're just using this one arm, like I said, that support goes to your shoulder, and that can get weak quicker. So now I can kind of relax my shoulder, hold it here, push this into my stomach, into my chest, and boom. So I record. All right, man. That's all I got. Chris, you got any questions for me, man? Before I tap out? And 2 points, reduce rotation. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Learned a lot, man. I learned a lot over my time, man. But yeah, Chris, shoot me your email address. I'm shooting you my ebook, man. Just for tuning in. I don't know if you subscribe or not, but I got you. The least I could do. Yeah, man. Natural Leaders Media, we are signing off. I'm gonna see if I can play this.
Speak volumes. Frame with intention. Tip number 4. Use framing to tell a story. Want your video to feel cinematic?
It's not letting me live, man. This connection is terrible. Nonetheless, thank y'all for tuning in, man. This has been session 4, session number 5. God willing, we'll be right back at it next week, next Thursday, 2 p.m. And I hope to see you, man. Hope y'all have a great weekend. And peace and love. Much success. Peace.